Um, Nashim Avadim Beterm Kriyashma. Nashim and slaves are part from Kriyashma. If Nishim mitzvah Zashishma Shazman Grama, because the mitzvah of a say which is time based. We knock on the Lamdam Shekabulim Machashmaim, it's proper to teach them they should keep except upon them the yoke of heaven. Haga, vehicle of Paul's Pasuk Rishon, they should read at the very least the first Pasuk. This one about Yosef and the Shem the Moed. Okay. The term I feel in the Rabbanon, this is from the back and the Laka Mishnah, with him Mashim the Gra, from the Ashasham, Amr the Rabban, from the Sha'an Shas the Ram the Rabba. The Kriyashma, the term Gam came in Brachas Kriyashma, also about from the Brachas of Kriyashma. Yeshlam Gam came Zaman Kavod also has set time for them. This we could allow the Simon and Chas Sifav. This is early in Simon and Chas Sifav at the same time as Feel 4 hours. Okay. Abu Berkutem is Vyasiv Niskan Al Indian to time, but the bracha of Ve'emes Yasser, which is set up for the remembering the going out of Egypt, L'chein habrachos shalachar, and some of the brachos afterwards. This is from Pashut, and also Gimel says Gam Hashkivenu Tikula Gerich Lahi, and also Hashkivenu Tikula Rechta. The Arvis Mukhayavas Lami are obligated to say them. The mitzvah Zechirus Yisir to time the Haggis B'Yom V'Layla, because remembering mitzvah to remember going out of Egypt is knowing the day and night. Him came and mele gam tzricha and lismach gula tefillah, and if so automatically have to connect gula to tefillah. The tefillah chayavas kidul comment of like tefillah you're obligated, as we said later on. Meaning they are obligated, as we're going to say later on. So you have to put gula to tefillah. I don't know why. Okay, but I guess you do. You're saying the Zeres Mitzrayim, and you're going to mention gula, so you're going to have to put the next tefillah, and they're obligated tefillah. It's been called Vav Alef. The king calls it Magnum, which Magnum says. I'm from Magam, which calls it the Laman, the silver, the Skiris, the Mitzrayim, Galaila, the Rak, and the Rabbanon. According to people who hold that remembering Yitiyas Mitzrayim at night is only with the Rabbanon, that's Smachta Akra, and they have a Smachta, like they source from the Pasuk, sort of. Smachta, the Rabbanon source. And came a male who mitzvah Sasi Shazman Grama, who would source Minotaur. And if so, then it's automatic, it's going to be a mitzvah. As say, which is time based, and it's part from the Torah. Rakun Derabana Chayav is only Chayav Midrabana. Okay, but King Kasim say Shuvas Yaakov, someone says Shuvas Yaakov, and Sham look there. Now people, and then they wouldn't even have to say that, I guess, because it's only at night and it's time based. But people in name of the whom it's in a Torah, says Minatorbi on the light at night. Instead of the Sefer Shagas Yari, some in your base. It's besides the Sefer Shagazari, some in the base, the Nashim Paturas. The women would be Patum, Mitam, the Zachar, the Zachar, the Yom, he mitzvah with Neato. The mentioning in the day is the mitzvah on its own. So meaning if you say it's two mitzvahs, it's really mitzvah only in the day and they're one instead of the night. So they're two separate mitzvahs for sure. But even if you say it's a day and night mitzvah, but still they're just separate mitzvahs. There's one in the day and one at night. The Imlo Hiska Biyom in three from the half year as far as the if they don't mention this one in the day, then you wouldn't have to mention the same and mentioning at night. Okay. Numashim Maskir Balada he mitzvah Niyat, this you mentioned the night is a stone mitzvah, 9 sham. The Pesukah the Jemmer Ayin Lel Basimin, Nambez, Sukal Jemmer look early and Simin Nambez, the Kulishim Mikin the Eger. The Mugal Sham the Devar, the Eger Niskanu, Vishul, Tefillah, the main thing was set up for davening. Then came a Mele Chayavis to Soda Ranam at the Tavim Pesukah the Jemmer, you have to daven. So now Graz, because of the Hebel, so I think the Graz with the opposite of the Median. Lin Birkut the Shaka, the Chor told me that in Nema, the Brachos Elu Yeshlam Zman. If you say it in the Brachos in the morning, it's totally the time. These ones have time bound. And the Elbis Simon, then Beis Mishnah Bur, Verloch look earlier in Simon the Sufnit, Simon and Beis Mishnah Bur, and the Verloch. It's Orchian. And we see much less in the Torah Shulchan Aruch for Simon Manvav Siftahan, from the stamness of the language of the Torah and the Shulchan Aruch and Simon Manvav and the Siftahan. We probably know Vosh, Sham and Sebastian and the Vosh and Sham. Masha the Brachos of Masha and the Mivarchos, Brachos Shachos come on Masha and the Masha, they do make the bracha of Brachos Shachos just like men. Who and Kozek is happening in the all this is said in regards to the obligation. Avo pshita the cholos the hamshi kliyav al asman pasha they could take on themselves a kliyav on themselves. The baruch of the baruch of kriyashma to make the baruch even on kriyashma. Okay, the el b'simen yud zayin to beis. Ragam says earlier in simen yud zayin to beis in Ragam. Shazman grama, not the time of beis. The Torah Katzib is man shkiva. It was man kima that it's the base. The positive base is on the time of going to sleep and the time of getting up. Okay, so it's time based. The Nachum who it's proper that they should say should accept upon themselves no malchus shemayim. Mashma mitzad zen the peturim mashma that from the zen they would be patur. V'abach pasuk the chayavas medina lekabel malchus shemayim. The Bach says they are obligated on medina to accept upon themselves the yoke of heaven. Just agree using the first pasuk. Vayin sham. Avol harbe afon and pokemal zamin afon and margam this and now obligated in the Torah to do this. Son of the Bosh and the Osman, they had Aaron and the Mishna and a girl, and I guess also Shulchan Shemayim, if they still be of the seven. The Sefer Nachlat Tzvi perished the Kavanas and Mechaber Kol Parsha Arishona. The Sefer Nachlat Tzvi explains that the Mechaber, intends the Mechaber is the first Parsha, the entire first Parsha of the half and everything. But Rav hosts of Allah, the Al Kapanim, Kol Pasuk Rishon, and the Rav is adding, the Agah is saying at least the first Pasuk, Abba B'Lavush Mashma, the Gamma Kavanas and Mechaber who rak Pasuk Rishon, and that even the intent of the Mechaber is only the first Pasuk, not the whole paragraph. But that which should bear Rav, and this is what the Rav is explaining, that it means the first pasuk. And he's just explaining what the Mechaber is saying. Okay. Getanim b'turim l'Rebbeinu Getanim are patur according to Rebbeinu Tam, Kishalo Agil L'Chenech, if they didn't reach L'Chenech, L'Rashi, Afilu Agil L'Chenech, and according to Rashi, even once they get L'Chenech, M'nei She'enu, Motzi Yestel B'zman Kriyashma, because they're not found to him at the time of Kriyashma. You can't, the Erev. The Yashin who were Boiker, and they're sleeping in the morning. Royal and Hoker Rebbeinu Tam is proper to act like Rebbeinu Tam and teach them Kriyashma. The Rebbeinu Tam, Avagil L'Chenech, once you reach the Kingdom of Shehud, the Kabbalah Shes to Kabbalah Sheva, he's already 6 or 7. Tayev the Chancel that the father is obligated to teach him. Like every other mitzvah. So Gam Kishigran of his mind Kriyashma, also he should read it at the time of Kriyashma. This is from Mukham and Agra, the Perish of Benatam, Skufin the Gra, one of the Benatam, Besimmel and Zayin. Okay. Besimmel Zah. Thank God to Rambam, the Hedya, I'm Migdalos. The tables Ani should Migdalos, the words Ani and Mishmigdalos is called Sofer, it's a mistake, but Topham, Rabbi Omer, Rambam Kaitim, it's Saber Omer, and it's on the Rambam. The Perish Lecha Mishnah, who mitzvah the Alman, according to the explanation of the Lecha Mishnah, it's just the general mitzvah. He should read at the time of the mitzvah with the brachos before and after. This is pashut because the Mishnah, the Chinuch Gam Milsa Derabanan, because the Chinuch is also a thing which is Derabanan. Think us the Rambam says the Rambam. Kishaloa gave when it didn't reach, and we come back on Pasuk Rishon Sheba Kriyashma, still the first Pasuk Kriyashma, Al Aviv Lamdo, is on the father to teach him. Once he knows how to speak. The Lam Dafka Bizman Kriyashma doesn't have to be at the time of Kriyashma, the first pasuk. The Boker in the morning, Rotzalam the Kaflo, Tilu Alav Lakanto, therefore he didn't put on the father to teach him. Va'im Bashikatsu, look at the Bashik, right? This is from the Avayim Primigan Vishem Hats. Look at the Primigan in that. The Im who Ben Shteim said if he's 12 years old, shall know the Kuliyam Hat Alav Lakanto, according to everyone, you have to place on the father to teach him at that point when he's 12 years old. Royal and Hug is proper to be like a time at 6 years old to teach him. What's the number? Apple got the Medina Mistabak Rashi, even though from the law it makes sense like Rashi, the thing got to the Grazal, and similar right to the Grau. They really are Pater. Apple PK and Nog Noch and Linhog Rabbeinu Tam is proper to be like Rabbeinu Tam. And Mashma David Ram says in the words in the Ram. I'm that Commissioner with Nay Moshe, look at that Moshe, Ayushami. Alpha Tfilu Kuliyam Makayav and Magil the Chinuch, and according to prayer, everyone's if he reaches Chinuch, will the Gam similar cuff above his face. Okay, Ketana Beturim, the Rashi Filu Magia, the Berlacha says, in the Agrad classes of the Rashi Beturim Gam Brachos Kriyashma, the Brad says they're possible even from Kriyashma, these kids. L'chori yesh line, l'chori there is to delve into it. Afterwards, my Kriyashma, Sheinu Nimshach, Rak at Sholosh, so it's only possible that Kriyashma, which only goes to the first 3 hours, Ain't no Matzah is not found by him. Mashenkin after goes not true after this. After the Rashi Yam Beis, Ayin Beis, but then from the words of Rashi Yam Beis, it causes the tefillah of Rachel Meinuhu. It says the prayer is mercy. Ayin Shal Magler V'Gam Hu Nimshach Kozakakach. And it also has later time like the brachos Kriyashma. The Filu Haki Tzarach Latam even still you need the reason times after this reason of it's Rachel Meinuhu, and you can just say well he's found by the father. The Gamin and Mistav the Hachim Yosef Brachos Kriyashma and Kriyashma At. And also doesn't make a lot of sense to be marked by the brachos of Kriyashma and the Kriyashma itself. The Nashon Kibirkos Emes V'Yat the Birkos Emes V'Yat the Magen Avram Shani. And women by the brachos of Emes V'Yat according to the Magen Avram would be very different because that's a different mitzvah of the Yisrael Mitzrayim they have to do. Okay. Hakonis is as Abasula when marries a virgin. Pater Mekriashmas, Pater Mekriashmas, Shloshiyam for 3 days. Imlo Asa Maisa didn't have relations with her yet. And they should retire with Das Mitzvah because he has a third, he's bothered with the bothering of a mitzvah. Bahani Mila Bizman Rishonim is only when the first time, in the time of the Rishonim, in the earlier days. Avalashov Shigam Shabin Adam and Machlav Nikolai, but nowadays then even other people aren't having any proper intent. The Gamma Koni says a Basula Kore. Gamma Koni says Basula Kore. So even someone who marries a virgin would read, and it wouldn't follow that Mishnah. By the Kama Simon Sama Test, Tadi Test, look at on Simon's on test. Im Shikar Yikar Kriyashma, if a person is a little drunk, can he read Kriyashma? Ambasulam Neshu Tartir, the Metzulam Mishnah verse says, as he troubled with the trouble of a mitzvah, Shemachai Vel Ezek Basulam, he's obligated, Shemachai Vel Ezek Basulam, he's dealing with the thing about the dealing of the Basulim. Masha'in came by Alman of Alatardan, Janatra by Alman, he's not troubled. Kriyashma, from Kriyashma, Uberchotel, Luhuadim Tfilas, and Brachot, and same thing by Tfilah. Locomotion of Lord, the Lakam, the Simon Kavav, as it's clear later on, it's in Simon Kavav. So he's bought from that and it's Brachot. So Yom 3 days, and the Arbalaylas, and you get 4 nights. Kegon, Im Nasabi Yom Revi, for example, if you married him on Wednesday, it's Rime in the morning, Pater, Ad Motzi Shabbos, you Pater from Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos, all nights included until Motzi Shabbos. So it'll be 3 nights for the 3 days, and then 1 for Wednesday night. That was the job. Had Bakal included in that will be. Oh, we would even get out for Kriyashman. Right. You couldn't even do it on Motzi Shabbos. It's on the Rosh and the Ham Vidin Yom as well. Vilapam Yisur Arbal Yom, it's possible that sometimes it will happen that you'll have 4 days. Could go into the Niflas, the Chop of Yom Revi. For example, if you went into the Chop on the fourth day, Achelo Kara Kriyashma before reading Kriyashma Shabbos in the morning. Pater Abi Yom, then you'd be Pater for 4 days too, because you would get Wednesday as well. If you didn't do the relations, but once he's done the relations, he's no longer trouble. He's obligated. The alef and also from this time on onwards, the low ball is also obligated if he didn't have relations. If even the shikavar over, once 3 days past the loss of mice into relations with Yayish, he gives up. From the matter of any sort of he's not bothered at all. He's just forgetting about it. Korah wrote to Lomim to say Chayav the gross he's obligated to read. With his brachos kadin. Properly nowadays no one has come on anyway. This is the Prima God and Nation of Ram. The Gam is and also someone who prays. He also has to pray. This is from the Trumas Hadesh and the Ramah and Trumas Simon a couple of days. The Kivan the Shechayv Kriyashma Chayv since he has to do Kriyashma he has to daven. The main Koram if he doesn't read and it looks like he's being haughty, because I always have Kavana and this day I can't. This one is Tam Hashem Tosefis, so Tosfos. Shemar that he shows that he has intent every other time. In Tefillah, in regards to Tefillin, and the help of Simon Lamakas, look earlier in Simon Lamakas, as Zaym Mishnah, if he has to put on Tefillin. Yikar Kriyashma should be Kriyashma, Sham Nisbar, the Shechurus Ma'at, Korag Mispan, if he's a little drunk, then he reads in Davin, it's from the Prima God Nation of Ram. There was one in Lav Haki and on the Mukav and Mukav, nowadays that we don't, without this anyway, we're not having a lot of intent. Ha in Yachol Dav with the Samuel, but if he's not able to talk in front of a king, he's very drunk. And he's not going to be afraid of the king. He's going to say crazy things. In the cross, he shouldn't read the spell. Actually, also Yenom Yalav, he shouldn't until he gets rid of the wine from upon him. Oisif, which is Rabbin, if he's dealing with the needs of the public. The Gizman Krishman is dealing with the time and reach the time of Krishma. Lo Yafsik, he shouldn't make a break. El Yidmor B'Yaskim, and they should finish their needs, what they're dealing with. V'Yikrim Nishar H for cross, and then should read if there's time to read. B'Tzarech the Rabbin, for the needs of the public. My Rishain is Shein Shami Shistadla Lukak in a post. It's talking about something who there's no one to deal with it except for him, and therefore it doesn't make a break. Take a break. This is from the Ayam of Magan Avram, the Ayam of Priyagadam, the Shemask, and the Dina Kamosh Kasan, the like we said. The Osik mitzvah, who could be dealing with a mitzvah? Even who Osik rock mitzvah, the Hatzalas Mammonim, even if it's just dealing with saving their money, still a mitzvah. The Yigiyah's man time comes. Mashra says, Im Hiskal Be'isr, that if he started at a time when it was also to start, Akasha Yigiyah's man, let's say after the time has already come, creation of time has come, Zorah class, then he would have to break. But I'm afraid Megadim Shemitzad, the whole Gavni in a post in the Zorah class, and look at Prima Gavni because he would not have to stop. Lo Yafsik, Vim Yachal Havsik, the creation of Bachach Wakaz Ligmor, Zorah Kutibula Torah. If he's able to go back to stop for creation and then afterwards go back to his dears of the Tzibor, without any trouble, Yafsik, he should make a break. This is from the Yili Rabbah. The Nirishim Mekor Mila El Simila Makas seems to the source from earlier Simila Makas of Kas, from Vaga and Sham, Pemuk from the Bush, Simila is proven from the Bush. Lots of Prima Gana, the Prima Gana writes, this is from Simon Nun Alef Osei. The Abelgav, the Osik B'Tzarch, is Rabbi and Patim and Kriyash. Even though someone is dealing with the needs of the public spots from Kriyash, Mami Komakum in Pasak, if he did make a break for Karsha, and he did read Shapiyati De Choba, he has goodly filled his obligation. He did it. And the low part to be mamish mikrish, but it's not part of him. All that you also commit to others. Then he's dealing with another mitzvah, and this is all if you're dealing with mitzvah, you don't have to do the other mitzvah. But if you do the other mitzvah, you do it. He did it. The Igmar's game, he did finish his dealing with. So Mikomakam Yasamash Yaakov, still he should do what he's able to be Yakra, the Pakos Rishon, and to read at the very least the first pasuk. It's not for the Achronim. In Bar Shem Kumar Fasili on Ved, also saying Bar Shem Kumar Fasili on Ved is mana in its proper time. He said that our it's a very short thing. The actual Lafilah Shisham Sha'od Sibitar. Because even dealing with Sarkozy would take 2 seconds and say Shmines, maybe 10 seconds. Im Nishar. Im Lo Nishar Mayas, if he doesn't have, if there's no time to do it. So he didn't have any time. He skipped it, missed Kriyashma. He did it. Harry also he's dealing with a mitzvah. Mikomakom Chayiv the Hazkir. It's yes, time still he's has to mention time, so he's really potter, but he's also saying mitzvah. He's trying to send them going to from that you're not potter from. I feel after Shav is my Kriyashma even after the time of Kriyashma has passed. Shazui mitzvah now after the 7 mitzvahs are called Yom, and it's for obligations the whole day. Okay, Yomer is the parsha Sheish plus Yitzias Ram. Therefore, say whatever parsha is some sort of going out of Egypt. And Kavavra is man Shalo Yuchalim or Berachot Hamim Yatziv. It's already past the time that he can't say Berachot Yatziv, so he could do something else. Moshe before B'Simon and Chas Ayin Sham B'Mishnah Berura. It says in B'Simon and Chas look later in Mishnah Berura. Behind the comment B'Simon Sam B'Kim look later on Simon Sam B'Tzadi Gimel. Tiv Dalad. Le'in Tefillah got Tefillah with Mishnah Berura Sham and the Mishnah Berura. That the Himnim Shach Zman Iska B'Tzarach Tzib. If it drags on, time is dealing with the Tzarach Tzib. Lach Chatzos Tzach Chatzos. Shah's part of the Kuli Alma after and Tefillah, and then he's part of Yevin according to everyone, even from davening. The Komakam also the Kuli Alma. The Echol called Nishim Makayim of Tefillin. Still, he's asked to eat according to everyone before he fulfills the mitzvah of Tefillin. His man Kuli Alma time is for the whole day. It's put on Tefillin. V'gam the Fima Shekaz of Prima Gadim B'Sim Kafkas. Also according to the Prima Gadim B'Sim Kafkas. Also, laws the Echol called him she is foul Tefillah to Mincha. It's also them to eat before he davens Mincha. Al-Kain Kishagia Kati Shach Chatzos. Therefore, when it reaches the half hour after Chatzos, he spelled Tefillah as Mincha V'Ach Yelkol. Should daven Mincha after Redik. So in the Ayim B'Sei for Not from the Yisrael, Perik base. If he's dealing with Stark Ram, it's Vayim Magen Ram, Ozdad, Masha Kosa B'Shem Mekassim Mishnah, which says the name of Mekassim Mishnah, B'Shem Ram. Vayim Shem Mekassim Mishnah, look there and Shem Mekassim Mishnah, this is the Be'al Lacham. Look Mekassim Mishnah, Shasim Al Divi Ram, the concludes on the words of the Ram, Shemasha Kosa Dak Cook the doors, Or Rishoni and Latam, that only by the first stars doesn't have any reason for that. Why do you push it off with two hands? Alum Magan Ram Besimin Lamakas Okiach Mirashi doesn't the Magan Ram and Simin Lamakas from Rashi, then Ikar Kavanas Raklish these back, and if his main intent is just to get drunk, Lomikri also admits it's not just to get not drunk, just to get wages or get some gain. It's not called Osik Mitzvah. So when he says it's only the first three generations, doesn't the Magen Avraham someone says a proof from Rashi that if he's just trying to get gain, he's not called a mitzvah. The Yishlom, the Midivei Ram Mashma, the berura say no, and therefore you could say that according to the words from the Ram are Mashma. Then in our days, now we don't assume that his intent is for the sake of heaven. Even if he's not getting any gain from that, he just doesn't have intent for heaven at all, or not really. Talmud has a mishnah. This is the mishnah on it. And really, if you would get some money from this, and we know that he's doing main intent is for the money, Yesh Lion Harbor with the Magen Avraham, there is to delve in this even according to the Magen Avraham. Hanal im Mekrios the Pater Mekriyashma. If it's called being dealing with him, it's a Pater Mekriyashma. After the Hop on the Irish and in Shom Mishi Stadla Elahu, on the say it's possible that we're dealing with there's no one to deal with it except for him. It's even worse. Which are in Indian. It's even better. Or meaning you can't stop here. There's no one else. So of course it's a mitzvah. Who else is going to do it? Find the similar makasim bear lacha look earlier and similar makasim bear lacha shall see shall pass the imakabanas of shil shneim mikrios mitzvah. We prove that if we intend for both of them to do the mitzvah and for the money, then it's still called a mitzvah. The question is if you're just for the money, that's not called a mitzvah. You would have to say kriya shema or cholera. I mean, if maybe this is different with no one else. So many Kesha Mishnah has a tema because why can we say that the Rambam was talking about when you're getting money? And he says because obviously and then we have the Magen Avraham saying that if you have intent for money, it's mashma rashi, so it doesn't count as plus the mitzvah. And then he's saying it's mashma from the Rambam that he's not getting money, even if he's not getting money. He still would be pater now, not be pater nowadays. And that was the Kesha Mishnah's question. Okay, sorry about that. Next, hey. I also was dealing with eating Oshayim in America, so he was in the bathhouse. Oshayim also with his purse, so he's getting a haircut. Oshayim Mahabik or so he's turning around the leathers. Oshayim also they're dealing with some sort of judgment. Rambam Gomer Vachak or Kriyashma. According to Rambam, you finish those stuff and afterwards with Kriyashma. If he's then afraid that he's going to pass over the time of Kriyashma, Posik Vikara Harizem Shubach, then he stops and reads, and that's praiseworthy. Will arrive at Mafsik Vikara Afal Pishish shows the cross, and according to Ravid, he stops and reads even if he has time. If I end the conversation, Rishlam is not in that Rishlam, hey, look later on, Sim Rishlam, hey. Osik Bakila, Manikra has called, I end the conversation, Rishlam base to face, and what's called a skull, look later on in Simon to Rishlam base to face. Gomer Afkaf, he finishes and afterwards he reads Krishna. That's when he evaluates if he's going to have time to read. So he's just going to finish in an hour or so and he's going to have time to read Dushma after. That he's afraid. That if he's afraid, that means he's afraid that his evaluation is not good, not proper evaluating. Will arrive at Masig when to make a break. As comes Rav Achonim Kamakulam, the agreement of the majority of Achonim and almost all of them. This is from Habach, Atad, Magadram, Eli Rabba, Vishar Achonim. The Ekri told him to the rice. The main thing is told is based on the matter of the rice, based on the Hiskul, Beheter, Be'isr, if it started with Heter or Isser. The visa according to this. So this is the middle of the Raisa, right? And then if you started with Heter, how this is the difference. If you started with Heter Skodesh, then it started with Titanoga. The visa Machlachla, Obachole, Elu Hanyan, Levad Mechila. If so, by Malach and all of these things aside from eating, this is from Amber Lacha, Os Gimel, within Kas of the Graz. In his school, Kodam Amar Shach, we started before Amar Shach, and so will have to live so he wouldn't have to stop. This is from the Machas of the Shach of the Chaim and Sharachonim. If he was, if there were many time afterwards that you could read Kriya Shema, let's go to Daven. The Hari Kaimelon, the Kam Besim Peitas, because he passed later on some Peitas, says, what Zion, the low Gazru Samach Lashachas, they weren't goes next to Shachas. So if you do it right before Shachas, where you could start davening, it's still fine. Vim Kain Hiskal Beheter, and if so, he started Beheter. Avalim Hiskal Afash Olam Shachar. What if he started before, after he started on Shachar? The Hiskal Be'isr, then he's starting with Isr. Posically, Kriya Shema would have to start for Kriya Shema with the rice, which is the rice. So, Avalola Barachot Shalol Tefillah, we wouldn't have to stop for Barachot and for Tefillah. So, in the common Simon Reish Lamed Hay, so base, B'chein Kasa with our time. After Kisha Goymer Hamalach, and afterwards when he finishes the work, Akori Kriya Shema would read Kriya Shema. Yim Berachim of Barachot and Mispal with the Barachot and Daven. The Dafka Shadain Yishal Oshal is only when he remains to him time. Meaning he's going to evaluate that he has enough time. There's some time the Pashut Milakam now, and from later on as mentioned here. Avul Im Rosh has man over to Tzorach Lahasim, yeah, but if he sees the time is passing, then he has to stop immediately. From the comments in Reish Lamed base to base. The whole Malcolm Shein opposing any place where he doesn't make a break. Afilu Yaver is Matkilu B'Tzibur, Ainul Chayv Lahafsik, even if he's passing. Anytime he doesn't have to make a break. Even if he's going to pass the time for Tefillah B'Tzibur, Ainul Chayv Lahafsik wouldn't have to stop for that. It's on the Eli Ram Der Chaim. In regards to eating, Mashrim and Mechaber Sim Beitas, Mashrim and Mechaber Sim Beitas Sefei, it's really the Ikra in the Machila, Tzorach Lip, so take a Mishalim and the Shafer, that from eating, with Migr then from eating, you would have to stop immediately when it says Am Shachar. Malacha, we said earlier, then Am Shachar, you could go past that, assuming you have enough time. Even if you started Behetzer with eating, it would be you have to stop it on the Shachar. Lo Mahani Shum Eitza calls Manchlo. His Baal doesn't have any kind of trick or idea until as long as he didn't daven. Mikor and he would be Kriya Shema. Mashma Shalacher Shiyah Kriya Shema. After he Kriya Shema, Amshlo his Baal, even though he didn't daven. Mutter Ligmor. And Kol Eliyanim Shehis was able to finish all of these things when he started. The Kamosh got to the Sifkan. According to said earlier. Sifkan earlier. Okay. And then he would have to go back. But I wish Lishno Lamdaka, the Indian Imhaya Osim. This language is not specific if he's dealing with eating. The Mafila Kabara Kazam, the Surah Kamkin, these Palm. I told them that by eating, we already said earlier that you would also have to daven before this, because eating is different. Nothing Mishim Shard, I picked up for the other things right after that. Right after Kriyashma, you can go back to them. Yinam Mishim Kriyashma shall Arbis not there, or another answer would be because of the prayer, the Kriyashma of night. The Behu Shach Kamken Kol Eludiyam, Hadinim, that with it it's also applicable all these dinim. The Vishal Arbis Vaday im Mispal im Histil B'Kol Elu, and by not Mariv, if for sure he started with all these things, Hafamish learn these 5 things, the Tov Lat the Shoshakodim places within the half hour before Tezek Kochanim. This is from the Ochin Kaz of our Chon Mishon there. Mafsik Miyadi make a break immediately. Actually, no, this is from the Pri Megadim and the Chaim. And this new one is Mafsik Miyad is from the Pri Megadim. Because Yetu Kakav when the stars come out and time comes, Yikra Kriyashma, you read Kriyashma without his brachos, and then afterwards you can finish his eating whatever other thing. And afterwards you could read Kriyashma again, Berchosev Mispala and his brachos and Daven. We could look at similar Shalom Hayes as we say later on similar Shalom Hayes. And Sham Biham Primagana, let's say the Primagana. Shows the quotes, he has to have enough time to read. If he sees he doesn't have enough time to read, even if he sees he has enough time, he should still read according to the Ravid. Maybe you'll drag on them and take too long and then past the time of creation. The inner dome with the tefillah, it's not similar to prayer, a mincha of mincha. The kind of one with similar on basis, we say in similar on basis, hiskal b'cholei l'kodem b'shispal. We start with any of these things before davening, and it's sort of live so we don't have to stop. The future creation, him in the third, the mir b'yoser, was creation is the right, so therefore they were more machmer about it. The simulation on the hand, simulation on the head, roasted on the shaman board, because it's been hiskal, but has the list of this. So there explains the difference between starting with this and starting with heter and shaman. Okay. I always say, "Go Rabbi Masik." When is Rabbi do mask in that case? I'm Morgan Rumble and comes from Ram Shikosu. The Marish is the last picture of the Alfati. Shabbat talking started afternoon half hours after. Shekodim on the Shachar, which is before on the Shachar. Also allows us to then it would be also to all do all these things. Rabbi going to Ram. Going to be his still of it, Isser, and he started the matter with Isser. The Kaf Masu before Elu. That's why he would have to stop in all these things. Because he started within the time when it was awesome. The most of the rice then once the rice thing you started with an Isser, the Rabbi would say Max. Even if he started, he would break and break. By time the Rambam, the Spirle, and according to the reason for the Rambam that Arctic holds, Shaloga Israel Kolel, they weren't going to go around all these things. El Samach Lemencha Shu Davar Matsu, for next to Mencha, which is something which is common. Ukidal Lakam Basim Petas Zion. Or later on in Sim Petas Zion, it's not, that's when there goes with these things normal by Mencha, but these not now. Imkain Hiskal Adavar Beheter, therefore he really did start the matter with Heter. The caffeine and post, and therefore he would make a break, because all these things aren't really us, because they're just so abnormal that no one goes around them. I think custom very gross, some of the very Rosh there, Tam Ram, this is the reason for the Rambam. I'm Malchus the Shekel, the Kedushim, the Hegel, look at Malchus Shekel, and Kedushim, Regebush, and Mukim, the Baron, Im Hiskal, the Kolelu, after Shegia, Amar Shachar, that if you started all these things after you started Amar Shachar, the Kuliyam goes and to everyone you would have to stop. There are Hiskal with, because then you started with Isser. Look at the Mashmal, the Bush, the Rad, not like the Mashmal, the Bush, the Rad. The thing, the Fizan, Im Hiskal, the Kolelu, the Erev, some of Lizman, Kriyashman. Similarly, with all these things, we started these things at night, not close to time of Kriyashman, Shal Mitzvah night. So our cliff, so after the Rambam, you wouldn't have to stop even according to the Rambam. Baim Nachon Shekasu the Rambam B'chol Gavne Hino Sarah Cliff Soak. Vish according to Shekasu. There are those according to, there is a form that say that according to Rambam in every case in a circle. So some say after start after Rambam the Shachar or next to Marv you would have to stop, but otherwise you wouldn't. And some say they're saying that according to Rambam in every case you wouldn't have to stop. But the Evan after Shekvar his school, but the Evan after already started. And after Shigma Yishah shows if after you finish you'll have enough time anyway. The law in London after meaning Mizan, the law is no after meaning between this time. As comments wrote about phone and commotion for Southern Mission Rush to cut in Kakimel, the majority of the phone is like we said in Kakimel, that you go into one with a shop if you started before for everything but eating and eating is different. Mash Bisam the other Mission Brother said earlier in Mission Brother, Dim High also will lock the Kodam on the shop like you were starting before on the shop from Mishra hits with over had to start. He called that you started the thing with Hetzer. Kini Sim with 7 Paytas for Aponim, that's what says in 7 Paytas as we have for him. The Malach Motu on the Shach, the Malach was Motu until on the Shach. If needs to be headed around very well, some is clear in the round very well, and help us to feel the Lach Ladal. We should be considered Hagon Melissa. I found from the Siddur of Hagon Melissa. The Dvarim Hasurim called them a tefillah with things which are also before davening. The Sofos het dad. The Mashma Dvarim Stam Malach Achutz Memerchat. It's not from his words. It's Stam work aside from the bathhouse. When we stop and going to getting a haircut, a borsky, Dom Lachil is similar to eating. The also Fati Shakodam on the Shaka toaster half an hour before on the Shaka. If Mashakot says Sham Osei, this is says in Osei, Im Hiskal Axis Malacham and Malachos. And if he started doing there from one of the Malachos and the Malachos, Al Korfakoya is Dabar for sure it's going on, taking a haircut, who kind of the miracles and getting into the bathhouse. Okay, down and stuff like that, the Marishon Bos Kokodim was talking about this in the letter earlier. Kadeshalu, he stirred the bar Valdazia and Shem shouldn't contradict his words. Look there. Meir Rambam, Ushari Afonim Hanal Lokoil Mashkin. However, from the From the Ram and other Achronim, it's the Chorus Lamashali that it would be Aser Tati Shakodim. Okay? And that's what this Siddur Gomilisa was saying. It would be Aser everything separate. Merchats and getting a haircut and Borsky doing tanning. It would be Aser half an hour before. But Majikasu, Obederach Chaim, this is says further in their Chaim, so Os Vav, the Imhis will have to pass each other starting after half an hour, after half an hour before. Dino Kihis Kavis, which like is this starting as Isser, Achil Lo Tzarach was that. For eating, you wouldn't have to need this. The Shama Filu Hiska Behet Tzarach will have something for eating, even if you started Behet, you would have to stop it on the Shachar. When Borski with these bars, Vadim Mutter Kodim on the Shachar, Bork is going to tanning and getting a haircut, with Shervin Mutter before on the Shachar, Valkof, Koi, Ashar Malachos over sure, and you wouldn't even need half an hour before. Valkof Mashkoi Ashar Malachos for sure is going on other Malachos. So Damaluma Vizel Achilo da Siri Chati Shakodim, and compare this to eating, which is after half an hour before. Because Azul Shitas Busofos Dalad, and he's going according to his Shita in the end of Dalad. Wazina Tarakim Vizal, and what you need half an hour before, but after, sure Borsky is okay, sure this bar is okay. Until Amud Shachar, eating is for sure Aser once Amud Shachar happens and half an hour before. Other things, what's the rule? We have the Rambam saying it's okay, and Siddur going release is saying it's Aser, and then Der Chaim, okay, is saying it's also Aser. What is this?